Oh, hey, little birdie. Oh, hey, look, it's another little birdie. Two birdies in the house. How do you get better than just one birdie? How? By adding two birdies to the house, I said. If this offends you, you're already on the wrong show. Don't be caught on the wrong side here. All right, this show getting started today. We really had to back it up 3 times. Technology sometimes is not my friend. And I'm telling you, it gets complicated, okay? It gets complicated, I said. So I can't control when the things we use to bring you the show take an SHIT. If you guys don't know on this show what SHIT is, SHIT right here. Ship High in Transit. That's what it is. It's Ship High in Transit. That is SHIT. Ship High in Transit. Okay. How about Buffalo yesterday? Did you guys see that coming? Say yes. Say yes. But after that ass whipping that you saw, I mean, where does that bring you after that ass whipping that you saw? Where does that bring you? Because you got to really take notice to Buffalo and what they can do. Okay? You have to. Remember when we saw Buffalo 4 times in a row in this Super Bowl? I've been telling you guys about that whole thing, and it almost happened yesterday with Derek Carr and the Vegas Raiders. I told you since 2015, the quarterback in the NFL with the most fourth quarter game-winning drive come from behind. Hello, now watch your mouth. Is Derek Carr. And he almost did it again, but they are done for the season. But I'll tell you what, if there was a team that was going to, had the Cinderella story after what they went through, it would have been them. Cincinnati advances. Okay, Cincinnati advances. But still, it was good stuff. So let's take a look at this. Okay? Obviously, today in what's going on. Okay, obviously, and today in what's going on. You got Buffalo with the victory, Cincinnati with the victory. So, Kansas City-Pittsburgh game. Kansas City-Pittsburgh game. Because Kansas City is the number 2 seed, if Kansas City wins and beats Pittsburgh, they will next play Buffalo. Okay? Buffalo. Why? Because Tennessee, who was privileged and earned that bye week, the number 1 seed, will get the worst remaining seed. The worst remaining seed. Okay? You got to think about that. So the worst remaining seed of that AFC, now you got to, there's other scenarios here. Think about it. If Pittsburgh won the game against Kansas City, then Pittsburgh's going to play Tennessee. Okay? Pittsburgh's going to play Tennessee, and then Buffalo and Cincinnati would play. Okay? Kansas City wins the game. If Kansas City wins the game, okay, they will then play Buffalo next week. Cincinnati goes to Tennessee. That wraps that up right there. Okay? That wraps it up right there. Moving over here into the NFC. Green Bay sitting there waiting, right? Green Bay sitting over there waiting. You got the number 2 seed Tampa taking on number 7 seed in Philly. Okay? Here's where this gets interesting. From the first week of the season, I called that from the NFC, okay? From the NFC, I called it. And what did I tell you? I said the winner between the Rams and the Buccaneers would go to the Super Bowl and win. And win. I know this isn't very popular with all of you. I know it's not. But if you don't think so, let me know. Don't just sit over there all by yourself and sit there, whoa, this guy doesn't like my team. He don't like my team. This guy sucks squirrel nuts. Look, don't get carried away. This isn't about if I like your team or dislike your team or who I like at all. This is about if you like full contact sports and you use your football IQ, okay? That's contact sports, okay? So don't get all caught up. Don't get all caught up. Don't. All right. You know what I'm going to do for you guys? Because I need some funk to think right. All right. G's in the house. Mr. Guy McVeigh says we are getting our players back, 9 to be exact. Go Green Bay. All right, G, I'm so glad right now, G, that you're here right now. Because I really want to go through some of these scenarios with you. Okay? So, G, let's go through some of these scenarios here. Because this is important. And you got to think about where your team is and where they're going. So Green Bay's sitting here waiting. Okay? Green Bay's sitting there waiting. Here's my scenario for you, G. You're either going to be playing, okay, because you're waiting, G, on the worst seed to prevail itself here. So obviously if the freak thing happened today in Tampa Bay, we got 25-mile-per-hour winds in Tampa Bay today. It's blowing hard out of the west. Okay? That's a factor. This is an open stadium. Okay? 25-mile-per-hour winds. There will be gusts up into 40. Hello? Hello? That's a factor. But if the crazy thing happened and that Philly won that game, then there you go, G. You get to play Philly, okay? However, that's not very likely, so let's move along through the scenario. The number 6 seed is San Francisco. If San Francisco beats Dallas, the 3 seed, you would play San Francisco. So I asked you, G, would you rather play San Francisco, the Rams, or Arizona? San Francisco, the Rams, or Arizona? And this isn't going to be answered, G, by you saying it don't matter who we play. I know if you're all about your team going all the way, that's the answer you want to say. But I'm saying rather. Here's what I think's going to happen, G. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Tampa Bay's going to beat Philly today. Okay? San Francisco is going to go into Dallas and win that game. They're hot. Hot, I said. They are hot. Ooh, you do want to play San Fran. You do want to play San Fran. I like that. Hang on, let me adjust. I got my things getting all the hell out of whack on me here. So, G, you do want to play San Francisco. Okay. You don't going to think they're going to beat the Cowboys. Okay, so if they don't beat the Cowboys, G, check it out. Okay, here you go. So Dallas wins that game. Okay? Dallas wins that game. Tampa wins. That means Tampa is hosting Dallas next week, right? Now, that means, G, you will get the winner the winner of Arizona and the Rams. And I'm telling you right now, the Rams are hot. And the Rams give Murray and the Cardinals all kinds of problems. Now, I'm wondering, you're saying you would rather play the Rams, but I want to let you know something here, okay? The quarterback for the Rams was in your division and has played the Packers, knows the Packers. He played them 20 times, 20 plus, okay? That's what you're going to get there with Matthew Stafford, a guy who has experience in Lambeau. He's played there a lot of times. He's played there in the cold. I'm letting you know what you're getting there when you get the Rams. So I'm going to tell you what I think. I think Tampa wins today. I think Dallas wins today. So I think that right there, Tampa Bay will host Dallas, and I think the Rams beat Arizona. And then I think the Rams are going to go into Green Bay. And Green Bay, you got your hands full. You think that the Cardinals would be a tougher team to beat than the Rams? I want you to think about what's going to be coming out of that Rams defense. Hello? Playoffs? Well, that's what you're going to get right there. So, I'll tell you guys, from week one, I told you, conference championship game would be, out of the NFC, the Rams and the Buccaneers, and whoever won that would go to the Super Bowl and win it. I'm sticking with that. I'm going to see that scenario play out, and my prediction, in fact, I'm going to go into my system. It's recording my prediction right now. My prediction, the Rams will advance this week, the Buccaneers will advance, and the Dallas Cowboys will. What that means, Tampa Bay hosts Dallas next week. Green Bay hosts the Rams. Tampa Bay beats Dallas next week. The Rams, one and done for Green Bay, knocked Green Bay out. Conference championship game. The Buccaneers and the Rams. The winner of that advances and wins the Super Bowl. That's recorded. That was my prediction week one, and I'm sticking with it. Now, tell me why the matchup doesn't happen. Is that because Green Bay is going to be conference champion? Is that what you're saying? So you're thinking the conference championship, is going to be who? While we're thinking about that, let's bounce back over to the AFC here and talk scenarios. Tennessee looks good, right? Tennessee looks good. Mesidor comes on, and Mesidor says, flat out, can Dallas beat San Francisco? You know, I think that's going to be a great game today, Mesidor. I think it's going to be a great game today. And yes, Dallas can beat San Francisco. What does San Francisco have going for them right now? They came on hot, like a jalapeno pepper, like a ghost pepper. They came on hot at the right time. Okay, that's what San Francisco has going for it right now. They came on hot at the right time. That defense is dialed in, tuned up. That V8 is running strong. San Francisco came on hot at the right time, like last year's Buccaneers. Okay? It's in Dallas. G says, I think Rams are going to lose to the Cardinals. I got to tell you. Look at the Rams and look at the Cardinals. When we look at that, what has happened as of late with the Cardinals? Okay? I mean, as of late with the Arizona Cardinals, what has happened to the Arizona Cardinals? I mean, have they in the last 6 weeks look like a team ready to go on a Super Bowl run? Is this what they've looked like? I mean, these are the things I think about when they're headed in there. Of course, we go backwards and we can just say, John, you even said it. And I did. You get into the playoffs, it's one game at a time. One game at a time. Okay? That's it. So let me tell you a little something here. All right? Let me tell you a little something here. We go in here, okay? When we go in here, let's go back to week 14. The Rams, the Cardinals, okay? I'll catch up on your comments. They're so important to me here. Misador says the Niners make it a low-scoring game and they win. I see that. Guy says that is true, but I think they will come out with a little spark. As they should, G. You're right there. As they should. Any given Sunday, Cards lost like the last 4 to 5. Well, let's talk about this, okay? Right there, Misador. Let's talk about this, okay? Let's go week 14 and speak of it right there, right here, right now. Okay? Week 14. Speak of it right here, right now. The Rams and the Cardinals played, and the Rams won that game 30-23. There's that. Okay? So, week 14, Cardinals take a loss. Week 15, the Cardinals lose to the Detroit Lions 30-12. I said it and you heard it. Week 16, 3 losses in a row. The Cardinals lost to the Colts 22-16. Week 17, they bounce. Okay, finally, and they get the Cowboys 25-22. Tight. Week 18, they're back to losing. They lost 30-38 to the Seattle Seahawks. You hear what just happened right there? Did you hear what just happened right here? Okay? I mean, this is real stuff here. From week 14, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 losses. This is what I'm trying to say right now. The Cardinals have one major thing that we look at there. They beat Dallas. That's it since week 14. Since week 13's win. All right? Week 13, the Cardinals beat the Bears. And since then, they won one freaking game since week 13, I said. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about with the Cardinals. And we're looking at them, and we're looking at the Rams. And if you're looking at them and you're looking at the Rams, the difference in these two teams right now, who's hot, who's not? Who's hot, who's not? You take that Rams defense, Kyler Murray, he does not do good. I'm just saying. Jerry, how's it going, Jerry? Glad to have you here. You say the Niners by 400. Wow, Jerry. Jerry also says Cardinals Cowboys wasn't tight until the end of the game. Cardinals ran all over them. Like I said, all right, since week 13, the Cardinals won one game. One game. Oh, we can talk about the Cowboys. I mean, we can. But the Cardinals won one game. Does this look like a team ready to go on a playoff run? Playoffs? The regular season game, last regular season game, they lost to the Seahawks. If you ask me when I'm looking at this and I look at a playoff picture, playoffs, and I look at this, when I look at every team in there, there's two teams that stand out to me right now that I say don't look like they're ready for a playoff run. And that's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Arizona Cardinals. Okay? I'm just saying. Donald, how's it going? Good morning to you. Donald says, if Cardinals win, they're better on the road. This is the playoffs. Okay, the playoffs. The playoffs. Rams have two of the top 10 defensive players in the league. Thank you, Misador. Facts. Donald says that the Cardinals are better on the road. Back to my thing. Back to it. Cardinals won one game after week 13. Week 13, they had a win. After that, they won one time. I don't care where their zip code was. I don't care where they won one game. Does that seem like a team ready for a playoffs run? No, we can twist it, we can turn it, we can do the woulda, coulda, the shouldas, and all that stuff. Well, I look at that and I see that. And you think about that. Think about that. You're going into the playoffs. Playoffs? Out of 5 weeks, you get a win. One. Misador, can Big Ben shock the world? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Look, and I'll say this to you, Misador, and I mean this, really. When I look at this, do I think that right now, if I were to say Pittsburgh's going to play the Cardinals, okay? I know, we're going across everything here, but let's just imagine that was the Super Bowl tomorrow. Arizona, Pittsburgh, who would you think would win that? Yes, Big Ben can win the big game. It's one game. Big Ben can win any game. And it's not just the quarterback, okay? But you know as well as I do, Misador, when you say that, is that how big of a difference it makes to have that quarterback. Tom Brady, hello? We can do-si-do with any one of these quarterbacks right now in the playoffs, and we'll go, I tell you what, you give us your quarterback, we'll give you Tom Brady. Well, chances change immediately, don't they? Yes, Big Ben can shock the world. If Big Ben wins today, the problem is they're a 7 seed. Here's the problem. I mean, how many shocking things do you want to happen? Because think about that Cinderella story that would have to happen right there, me. The Cinderella story wouldn't just have to go right there. You're the 7th seed. Now you're going on the road to Tennessee and you're asking, can Big Ben shock the world again? And if he shocks the world again, you think about what he's got to do after that. He's going to be facing the winner between Cincinnati and Buffalo. Right now, if I'm looking at the AFC, who am I looking at that's a strong guy right there in the AFC? You guys seen what I saw last night. I've been pumping them up for a while here. Buffalo is badass. Buffalo is badass. Misador says that Dallas, if the Niners beat Dallas, they can and will beat Green Bay. I see it. I do see it. I do think Dallas wins at home. I do. And then gets hit in the mouth by Tampa Bay again. Here in Tampa. Yeah. Come on, Dallas. Schuster back this week for the Steelers. That's good. I'll tell you, it's not just as simple of saying when you come out here and be able to just sit there and say, this is, that this is A-Rod's year. Oh, what do you mean? What was last year? I mean, what was last year, G? MVP of the league. His name was Aaron Rodgers. What was that? Who was that guy last year? Wasn't that his year last year? I mean, what are we doing here when we say Aaron? It's Aaron Rodgers. What are we doing? Really? Oh, we're looking deep into the crystal ball. And we're like, hey, look at this guy right here. What's he doing? Is there something in his eye? Oh, no, he's just playing with his bangs. That's what he's doing. He's flipping his hair. Is that a hamburger bun? Oh, no, that's just his hair. They call it a bun. He likes a bun in Hawaiian shirts and flip-flops. But wait a second. Looking back through the crystal clear hourglass, and Aaron Rodgers has a tendency to kick rocks. So, G, let me tell you, it isn't about your defense, G. It is not about that. What it was that your coach had the MVP quarterback. Your coach had the MVP quarterback. He decided to kick a field goal and then wanted your defense to stop the guy that's already at that point had been to 9 Super Bowls and won 6. And you're going to give number 12 the ball, and you're going to tell your defense that if you guys don't stop this guy from getting a minimal of a field goal, then it's your fault. Even though my MVP quarterback could have just now went for it. Why? Because this is the playoffs. Right? And no matter what you did to Tampa Bay, no matter what you did to them when you gave them the ball back, you still had to go all the way back down and score a touchdown. Whew. Somebody turned out the lights on me for a second there. I'm just saying now, G. You lost that game with your MVP quarterback because of a coaching decision. Trust me, I was at a bar and a grill. We're all sitting there watching this game. And when those Green Bay Packers decided to kick the field goal and give the ball back to Tom Brady, there were shots lined up and down the bar, I said, and everybody started cheering. They said, it's over. Now, how did we know that? Our football IQ told us so. It was a stupid decision. It was the problem in the offseason with your quarterback not wanting to come back because he knew how stupid it was. That's why he almost left. He almost retired. Retired. Words. Let's see. G saying we have our defense back and we won't have practice squad out there. Don't underestimate. I'm not underestimating your defense. I'm not. Ain't nobody in the league all this time you want to put your defense in a situation where you're going to have to do that. Or else. There's a 53-man roster of guys that play in the NFL. They're considered the best athletes in the world, next man up. Donald, any team, you see this? We talk about this all the time. Any team, you say any given day, if they played the best they can in their game. You know what I'll say about stuff when you get into injuries and stuff? And I said this with Tom Brady when he was in New England with the Patriots all those years, and I wasn't a Patriot fan. I mean, come on, guys. Here's the thing is that you can be biased, you can be whatever, but when you go in and you're talking football and you're going and thinking about taking all your years of football, taking all the scenarios you've seen happen, the players, the great players, the bad players, the flops, all this, you can be biased and sit there and come out with something with your football IQ. When you looked at Tom Brady, and I've thought this all in the time, and people will say things when they say, yeah, but he had this guy, and he had this guy, and he had this guy, and he had this guy. Half of those guys would have been nobodies anywhere else. Okay? Average quarterbacks in the NFL need a great supporting cast. You want to know why? Because when they run their route and they turn around, the ball's not on the numbers. So they have to be beyond exceptional, okay? To make their quarterback look good. It can fool you. It can fool you. Remember that guy, Johnny Football? Made it into the NFL? Remember that? How'd that happen? Do you remember who his lead receiver was in college? Let me tell you what happens when you see these guys come into the Buccaneers and when you've seen so many of them that were successful with the Patriots, but when they went to other teams weren't. Okay? Great quarterbacks make somebodies out of nobodies. Great quarterbacks, you hear it, guys, great quarterbacks make somebodies out of nobodies. Average quarterbacks need somebody's already established great receivers to make them a somebody, okay? But great quarterbacks make somebodies out of nobodies. Why? Run your route. By the time that head spins around and looks at your quarterback, the ball's hitting you in the jersey on the numbers. That's why. That's why. So know that. Defense to me is a whole different story. Gee, you're right. Mr. Guy McVay, you're right about something here. And this goes for every one of these teams. Let me use a scenario right here. Get the number one offensive rushing team right now. Here, who is it? It's the team that just slid into the playoffs. The Eagles. Okay? The Eagles. Number one rush. So, I've heard scenarios, oh, well, this is this way with our offense, and Lenny's a no-go, and we don't have Lenny, and now we got to rely on this, and we got to rely on this. Listen to me, and listen to me right now. None of that matters. None of it does. Do you know what matters for the Buccaneers? Aside from any scenario with injuries that you see on the offense. Because on the offense, it is next man up because you got a somebody. Okay? You got a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's been to 10 Super Bowls and won 7 of them. I said it. And it's never been said before. There it is. He makes somebody out of nobody. So when the next man comes up, as you have seen, as of recent, right? Who was that guy that caught the touchdown pass? A track star? track star? Wait, this guy didn't play organized football? He ran track in college? Tom Brady makes somebodies out of nobodies. Great quarterbacks make somebodies out of nobodies. Hello? So what's more important? What wins championships? Defense. You don't got to worry about losing a game if the other team can't score on you, do you? So, Mr. Guy McVay, great point. Let's wrap it right back around to that guy. If your defense is playing top-notch defense, you're going to win football games because the other team is not going to be able to score against you. So that number one rush offense today at 1 o'clock game, the Philadelphia Eagles will not win the game if that great rush defense for Tampa Bay shows up and they stop the run. It's over. Over. Because Tampa Bay will find a way to score. Remember the guy number 12. He makes somebodies out of nobodies. Jalen Hurts, take notes. Take notes. I do believe Jalen Hurts will be the lead running back, essentially. He will have the most rushing yards today. Jalen Hurts. I do believe that. And it will take a little bit for Tampa Bay to adjust to that, but they will. Let's see here. Let's kind of go over this again, guys, before we get the hell out of here. Let's go over this real quick before we get the hell out of here, okay? Okay, there we go. That game tonight with Pittsburgh at Kansas City. Okay, Pittsburgh at Kansas City, that's an 8:15 game. It's a good game. That's a good game. We don't get to see that Arizona Rams game until Monday night. How about that? Monday night football, playoff football. Monday night playoff football. Playoffs? Yeah, that's right, playoffs. 1 o'clock today, you got the 9-8. Just slid in there. 9-8. Philadelphia Eagles are traveling here to Tampa Bay. It's not going to be very cold, but it is going to be very windy. We got sustained winds at 25 miles an hour. We could have gusts coming out of the west at 40. Okay? What's that mean? Well, you should be strategic when you're going ready to kick a field goal, if you have to, on what side of that hash mark you're going to be. Okay? Because that football is going to be moving from west to east. And I will tell you right now, the field goals at Raymond James Stadium are north to south. Okay? Which means that wind is going to be coming across the stadium. Okay? So know that. Know that. You want to have something where you put the ball in the air and it's going to travel okay, you're passing the ball from left to right, depending on the direction. Depending on the direction that you're facing. If you are headed north down the field, passing the ball to the right and the right side will be better than passing the ball to the left. Okay? If you're headed south down the field and you're headed south, passing the ball to the left side of the field would be a little bit more success for you to keep it out of those heavy gusts. Kicking a field goal. Think about this. If you're kicking a field goal, all right, there's got to be a strategic move because the ball, if you're kicking to the north end zone, that ball is going to travel from west to east when that wind catches it. And if there's one of those gusts out there, it's a problem. Now, gee, I see you say a lot of interceptions, but I really do think if you're out there throwing the ball around, you're going to know a little bit more on this ball, shorter passes or whatever. And I think you can take some long shots, but if you're throwing the ball in somewhat of a direction that the wind isn't going to be messing with it a lot. I think there's a strategy in this, and it depends on whether you're driving towards the north end zone or the south, and what side of the field you know you're going to work on. Get a tight spiral on that ball. It matters. And I'll tell you this right now in Tampa Bay, if you want to know who the better passer is, okay, it's pretty obvious. So more so than none, if you ask me where the interceptions are going to come from, Tampa Bay's got a shot, because if they shut down the run, what are they going to do? They're going to force Hurts to throw the ball. Has anybody checked as of late Hurts and how many touchdown passes he's thrown this year? Because I believe Tom Brady has thrown, 42 touchdown passes with 12 interceptions. Okay? Jalen Hurts, 16 touchdown passes, 9 interceptions. Tom Brady, 43 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Hello? Okay, so Jalen Hurts, 16 touchdown passes. Tampa Bay shuts the run down tonight. What happens? There it is, guys. Donald. So what you think Steelers can win that game? Do I think they can win the game? Donald, I think that any one of these teams today can win. Donald. This is the playoffs. Playoffs? And we've all seen crazier things, Donald. Yes, I know. We were ready to throw, it was Big Ben's last game. A lot had to happen, and almost did. Think about it. That game last week could have easily ended in a tie and sent Pittsburgh, see you later, Mr. Ben. But Ben is in there. Now it is the Cinderella story right here. I mean, it really is. When you have this somebody's a Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame quarterback playing his last NFL football game. It went into cinematic, dramatic fashion last week and how they got into the playoffs. And now cinematic, dramatic fashion on if they can advance into the playoffs. Yes, I think that Pittsburgh can win the game. Would I bet on Pittsburgh to win this game? No. But do I believe they can win? Yes, I believe any one of these teams can win today and yesterday. Yes, this is playoff football. You say if Foles can do it, anybody can. If you're an NFL quarterback, you can. It's called complete a pass. Nick Foles did it, and he didn't just do it then. Think about that. When you say that, Nick Foles marched his team through the playoffs. Playoffs as a wild card team. Okay? Nick Foles marched his team through the playoffs. And then beat the Patriots. It wasn't a fluke at that time. He was playing great football. Absolute boss for 4 games is right, G. An absolute. And he got paid for it too. He did. But look where we are with that. How many games has Carson Wentz won in the playoffs? Okay? There's chemistry between offensive coordinators and quarterbacks. And if that chemistry's off and you can't get out of your thick freaking skull and learn how to play and win with the players you have, you won't be very successful. You won't be very successful. Okay? You got to know If you're in a running race and it's a long distance race, okay, you got to know who you up against. Can they finish strong? Can you get in their head? Where is my strongest point on the course? When should I push? Scott, how's it going, brother? Said, I don't think anybody can beat the Bills in the Super Bowl. Every one of these teams can beat the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills were not undefeated this year, okay? They weren't. New England had that coming, okay? Do you guys remember what New England did not too long ago in Buffalo? They passed the ball a total of 3 times. This was more than a playoff game. Okay? This was more of a divisional rivalry that New England owned up till last year for 20 years. Okay? The Bills hadn't won a playoff game since Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas. Okay? Did you hear that? But moving forward, I get what you're saying, Scott. I do get what you're saying. But look, Kansas City can beat Buffalo. Buffalo can beat Kansas City. The Tennessee Titans can beat Buffalo. Buffalo can beat the Tennessee Titans. The Cincinnati Bengals next week can beat the Buffalo Bills. And the Buffalo Bills can beat it. The AFC is open in the air. Okay? The only weak link I see right now, based on what I saw through the season, the regular season, would be that of Pittsburgh Steelers. Aside from that, look who you have here. And look at who you have here. You have Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hot. You have the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Hot. You've got Mike Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hot. And then you've got the Tennessee Titans. I know you might not be recognizing this guy yet. And the Tannehill has this quarterback, right? But damn, that's a good coach team, isn't it? That Tennessee Titan team? Isn't that a good coach team? AFC is anybody's right now to go to the Super Bowl, if you ask me. Anybody's. Okay? You come over here in the NFC and you look at Green Bay sitting there. Okay? There's things happening there. Okay? There's things happening there. Green Bay right now has a huge chip. Huge chip on their shoulder. Okay? But I honestly believe that you get one difficult game and you get Green Bay down and a couple things go wrong. You guys have witnessed what I have. Your star quarterback, MVP quarterback, starts kicking rocks. He starts kicking rocks, okay? You've seen it like he hangs his head and then he walks off of the field looking at his shoes. I don't know, maybe he's looking at his toe, okay? And he's changing it. And he starts looking at that cup as if it's half empty. And this season, that's who my award could potentially go to. The half-empty cup award. Okay? That's your sports static half-empty cup award. Okay? But I'll tell you this right now. You get another stupid coaching decision for Green Bay, and that's what you'll be seeing right there. Either GM, coach, or whatever. They'll be standing on the corner, right on the corner of the building at your local 7-Eleven. No job, no money, no wife, no house, and they want help. I'm just saying, these are scenarios. that we look at, scenarios that we look at. Scott says, who do you think will be the NFC Championship game? I think, as I said, week 1. I made my prediction as I always do week 1. NFC Conference Championship game will be the Rams versus the Buccaneers. The Rams versus the Buccaneers. The winner of that game will advance and win the Super Bowl. Okay? Advance and win the Super Bowl. Rob, how you doing? He says, hey guys, I'm dropping to say hi. He's at work. Like usual, go Pittsburgh. They seem to be playing hard for Big Ben before he leaves. Go Pittsburgh. I think every one of you will agree with me right now. Right now. If Pittsburgh beats Kansas City, would that be the biggest upset? Or would you guys think the biggest upset would be if the Eagles beat the Super Bowl Tampa Bay Buccaneer champions? That's what I'd like to know. He learned we have a great coach. Who learned we have a great coach? Who? Who learned you have a great coach? The coach that had the MVP quarterback. He's right there on the goal line. He's right there. The MVP quarterback who don't throw interceptions. The most accurate passer in the NFL. Yeah, I said it. And he said kick a field goal because we want to see if we can stop Tom Brady. And then, oh, by the way, we're going to come all the way back down like Tampa Bay's defense is nothing. They're garbage. We're going to come all the way back down here. And then we'll score the touchdown. What's the matter with this guy? Huh? What are you, stupid? Huh, Stugatz? When did he get great? After he went and laid on the couch and started talking about his child. And then when I was 9, my mom made me play the flute. G says, mistakes happen. Yeah, when you try to fart and shit. Yeah, that's right. Farts don't have lumps in them. Mistakes do happen, you're right. Don't try that one in public again. Oh my. Oh my. I tried to fart. Oh my. Mistakes do happen to the best of us. You could fart and it'd still smell like crap 3 minutes later. Well, I'll give you a clue. You probably crapped your pants. Mistakes do happen. Yes. Oh my. He is great. Check his stats. Hater. I ain't hating on nobody. Nobody. Now, hate's a very strong word. Not hating on anybody. There's a problem we have here. There's a problem. And this was the problem we had with Bill Belichick. Was it Brady or Belichick? What's happened the last 2 years with Belichick? What's happened the last 2 years with Brady? Was it Brady or Belichick? You got a future Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, which they say is the pedigree guy. He's the guy, he's a quarterback. We can plug and play him on so many teams and make an average coach look great. Based off of what? Is it Aaron? No, it's the coach. I ain't gonna be hating nobody when you win, G. I am a football fan. A football fan. All right? All the way through it. Down to 2 teams. I watch the Super Bowl every year. I pick my winner then. Regardless. If it's a team I hate. If I think they're going to win it, I pick them. I pick them. I've not really ever been in a. It was a long, long time ago when I was a kid, G, that I didn't like the Green Bay Packers and was going against them all the time because I was in the division with them as a kid. The very first football game I went to, G, here's something for you, okay? Now, G, I'm going to tell you, this is going to really date me right now. 1978, G. I went to the Pontiac Silverdome, and my first football game, Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions. Green Bay won. I was pissed off, which I know what they say. It's better to be pissed off than pissed on. I get it. You don't say Aaron, you call him daddy. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers for a second. How many Super Bowls does Aaron Rodgers, Super Bowl rings does Aaron Rodgers? I'm just curious. And before you start talking about who you're going to call daddy, let's think about that for a second. In 20 years, the Green Bay Packers have had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. There are records in the books that will never be beat. Or they'll always be in the top 5. You can see that, right? And what did you get for it? I think you got enough. Because I say it to everybody. If your team gets 2 Super Bowls in 20 years, you're doing something. Check out the real G right there. Now, G, I know I call you G, Mr. Guy McVeigh. I do. But until the real G enters the room, all right? The real G Fardico. Hey, Fardico! I mean, G, you're still my guy, McVeigh. You're still my guy, McVeigh. Okay? But when the other guy comes in here, you G, hey, you know, it's my boy. And you know what? G, you right. Bucks by 10. It could go into the Bucks could blow. G, you know it. The Bucks could blow them out. They stop that run game. They're forcing Jalen Hurts to pass the ball all over but the crying. All over but the crying. And that's the last thing I want to see. You guys know the last thing I want to see. The crying. The last thing I want to see is the crying. Okay? The Bucks, this is it right here. Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts. Ew. That's it. One more time for you guys. Put on your safety glasses for this one, guys. Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts. Ew. Oh, there it is right there. You seen it first. If you don't like it, one bird. Hello! Hey, look, guys, there's 2 birds in the house. Whee! Yee! Anyway, that's that. The birdies are in the house. Scott says, Guy, you can call Tom Brady Grandpa. You can. You guys know that Jalen Hurts actually was 3 years old when Tom Brady won a Super Bowl? How about that? What do we got here? Guy says Hurts is going to take the game on his... But Mr. McVay, how does he have the talent capable of doing that? You know, where we looked at these stats here, Guy, and we're talking about this, I'm not sure he possesses that ability. I'm not sure. Anyway, guys, it's 1 o'clock. The Buccaneers are kicking off the football, or Eagles are kicking off, whichever one. I'm the hell out of here. I got football to watch. I am going to do an update on a show midweek. Keep your eyes open because I want to talk about all this football stuff. Guys, I appreciate your opinions, your enthusiasm a lot, and it's all good stuff, and I love it. It's absolutely love it. So, good luck to you guys and your teams, and may the best defense win. Oh, may the best defense win. That's how it goes, guys. It's not about the offense. Defense wins championships. Peace out, my friends. It's been real as always.